not straight. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Ew.
What's that? What happened?
This is gonna be wet.
I mean, you know. Wouldn't have it any other way. It's like friction, but not that much friction.
Oh, look, I'm actually better than the average bear. Thank you. Look at me go. Didn't spill a drop.
You can put it in the deep freezer if you want. Think we need to?
Yeah, just to make sure that the last two balls don't melt.
Freezing?
I like balls. Who doesn't like balls? You don't have to like other guys' balls, just, yours.
We are in the deep freezer on top of the Hungry Jack hamburgers.
Sweet.
All waffles. One of the two. I need to get me one of those still.
A Hungry Jack?
No, the
Those
ice maker.
the ball makers.
Yeah, I need to get one of those, and I need to get the smoker.
Yeah.
That's the next thing I need to get. I need to get the smoker. Oh man. Oh, I didn't show you. I didn't show you the drink, bro.
Mm.
Oh, where is it?
I'm gonna start pouring.
Go ahead.
Opted for a Bulliet Rye this time, guys. Welcome. This is our second recording of episode 5. We'll talk briefly about the other one.
Second recording of episode 5. Yes. So this was a smoked bourbon with a maple waffle and maple bacon.
Yeah.
And then they smoked it. They smoked the glass, and then they put the whole thing in almost like a cake dish, like a cake glass dish.
Yeah.
And they smoked the whole thing.
Wow.
When I tell you that thing was so good, man, it was so good. It was.
Oh, let's see if we can get a little bit of the
time. Little pour.
Ah, damn, this one didn't bubble like the first pour did. Sorry, guys. I tried.
All right, so what is this? This is Bulliet Rye Frontier Whiskey. Bulliet 95 Rye. Straight American rye whiskey made using a 95% rye mash for a superior American rye whiskey experience. 750 milliliter distillery spirits. 45% alcohol by a volume of 90 proof. Okay. Well, my headache isn't going to go away today.
I'll go away for a minute.
Briefly. Salud.
Salud.
Definitely smells good.
Yet another dangerous one.
We are not.
We're not even gonna go there. Okay, so the other recording, which was damn near 3-4 weeks ago, we slacked off because we hurt ourselves.
Oh yeah.
We polished off, and we reviewed the video, and we're not gonna put it out there, but we might put clips out of it. But we finished the bottle in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we killed.
And
that
then
bottle.
I fell asleep on camera, and then just these guys were talking, and out of nowhere went, speaking of that, I gotta go to the bathroom, and just went up and left.
He left, and he went to the bathroom, and then he fell asleep
in my bedroom.
in his bedroom. Okay. I went to the bathroom and I fell asleep on the bathroom floor. So, yeah, that was a interesting evening.
Yeah. That was
That was
way too much.
But what bourbon was that though? What whiskey was it?
It's Smoke Wagon?
Smoke Wagon.
Yeah. It was delicious.
It was really good. That was really good. But man, when
we went aggressively. We should not have, because I just kept pouring. It's like as soon as I saw us getting like,
yeah. And I really think that's what really did it in, because we went through the whole bottle.
The whole thing, yeah.
Like literally.
And I think it was a 90 or 95 proof or something like that. It was.
And I actually remember saying we can't drink all of this. I remember saying that. And then we did. We drank all of it.
Yeah.
So.
We dial it back, son.
Yeah, for real. For real. That was crazy.
It was bad. It was bad.
This is good though. But I already know I'm not going to drink all of this. My head is already buzzing. I don't know where this headache came from, man. Yeah. So, oh man.
I know. We've already been hanging out and talking for a bit today. So it's like, where do we want to start? But we also said to each other, let's not talk about the same thing we've been talking about the last couple episodes.
Seriously. Really don't want to do that. And it sucks because there's so much of it. But it's
out there, and that's what catches our attention most of the time. So it's like, without pre-planning, topics, it's kind of hard just to, because now I'm thinking of like a million different things, but my mind isn't grabbing one to latch onto to actually talk about,
Okay. So they redid the X-Men cartoon. Did you hear about that? I
saw something about that. And they're doing that on Disney, right?
Yep. Yeah. It was on Disney. So they redid that. Then there was Doom 2. The second movie came out.
That one, yeah. Annihilation?
No, not part 2 of Doom.
Dune. Doom. I thought you said Doom.
No, not Doom. Doom.
Yeah, Dune's in the theaters. Yeah.
That came out. You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen the second one, no.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that. But you need to see that.
I want to see that. Timothy Chalamet.
He did a phenomenal job.
And fucking Zendaya.
He did a phenomenal job, man.
A lot of good names in that. Yeah.
What else is there? We're not going to do politics.
No.
So I'm not bringing up any of that stuff.
No. Lighthearted, fluffy content today.
Lighthearted and fluffy.
Fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias is great.
I actually like that he is a car guy.
It's awesome. I wish he'd like more than just the bus.
Well, yeah.
But it's great that he's a car guy.
Yeah. But I mean, have you seen how many versions of it he has?
He has every version of the bus and multiple of the same one.
Like that is, I didn't even know it was that many still around.
Oh, dude, in California? There's lots of those buses still around. There's a reason the major car scene is in California.
Yeah, but they have all the regulations too, which is like stupid to me.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people trailer them to the car show, because they legally can't drive them on the street.
Which is the dumbest shit ever.
Politics.
That's crazy. Right?
But yeah, no, the California, I mean, Arizona is pretty close to the same car scene, because a lot of the guys from California get most of their cars from either New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona, because there's no rain. And it doesn't snow, so there's no salt on the road, so the cars last forever. The rust actually happens on the roof of the car instead of the bottom of the car.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I lived in Arizona 16 years, if I didn't say that yet.
That makes sense. That also is also why they have such massive fires too. Because
Yeah,
there is no
it's
rain.
dry.
It's just dry.
Very dry. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is forests are meant to burn down in a cycle.
Well, that too. But still, like, no water, bro. That's kind of nuts. Being from Miami and we get water like
Oh, the East Coast gets
every 2
water
days.
all the time, yeah.
So it's like
All those tropical storms coming up and
yeah. So
hitting.
like living somewhere where you barely get any rain at all, like
California gets its fair amount, not the middle of the state per se, but the coastline gets a pretty fair amount. Arizona rains 3 times a year. That's it. Maybe 4 or 5 if you're lucky.
that's it.
But when it rains,
It rains.
it rains. And it comes down hard. Like every park in Arizona, every city park, has to have a natural water retention basin that's deeper than the road for all the runoff to collect at. Every single park.
Just for those 4 days.
Yep.
So basically, you get a whole year's worth of water in 4 days.
It might rain for 2 days, and then there might be 2 other days during the year where it rains for a day. It doesn't, like, yesterday here in Georgia, it rained for most of the day, Friday. But there'll be days where it rains for 4 or 5. That does not happen in Arizona. Not in Phoenix, anyway. Might in Flagstaff or Payson, the northern area. But that's a pine forest, so.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Well, it's not weird, but I guess that's just the way it's set up.
that's
So,
just the area, yeah.
it's
Barely any clouds ever. It's always blue skies. And it was weird because I moved out here a decade ago, and I went back probably 4 years ago and went out riding dirt bikes and whatnot, and just happened to just be catching my breath and looked up and looked at the sky, and you know, your eyes are always fixed on the horizon, so you always get that light blue sky. And that's what you're used to in film or drawings or whatever. And so that's what it is, and it's beautiful and bright. And then I look up, and for whatever reason, I noticed that when you look straight up, and it was middle of the day in the spring in Arizona, straight up, it's not light blue. It was like a medium to dark blue, and it's like almost seeing space in the middle of the day in a clear sky day. It's like, whoa. But no one ever really looks up.
Well, I've heard, and I don't know how true or accurate this is, but I was told or I heard that the only reason the sky appears to be blue is because the reflection of water.
Yes.
So because we have so much water, it's constantly reflecting the blue tint into the sky.
In Arizona, where it's so dry,
yeah, you don't have a lot of water.
it would just pass through easier.
Exactly. So that might be why you're seeing it, where you're almost seeing a dark blue, but it's really black.
It's just space.
It's just space.
Because I don't have any reflections or refractions off a weather satellite.
Or a hologram projecting.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to go that far.
And the ice dams let some of the water out around the flat earth, so I could see it. Let me say the dumbest thing imaginable.
Okay, so I want to address that. I want to talk about that.
Okay, dumbest thing imaginable?
No, not
Flat earth?
flat Earth.
Ice walls. Daenerys Targaryen.
Bro, can we stick to one topic? You just threw like 3 different things in there. It flows well, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I know, it fucks you up.
Okay, so flat Earth. Right? What?
Don't get political with it.
No, not political. What is the science behind, or the reasoning behind the whole flat Earth thing?
I really don't know.
Because
It makes no sense with what we were taught in school and what, you know, sure, when everyone believes that everything from the Bible is 100% true and we don't know better than to think that the sun revolves around us, as opposed to us going around the sun and how space works. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Well, this is my thing, right? Because, like, just explain this. If you say this table is Earth, right? And
it's flat, round.
This is the sun, right? If we were to lower that light until it was underneath this table, right? Then this glass would cast a shadow all the way across this until it was no longer there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the Earth is flat, how is it that when the sun sets, right, it's dark where we are, but then everybody else on the quote-unquote other side
has light?
Has light. If we're on a flat Earth...
Because we're on a giant fucking disc.
If we're on a flat Earth...
It's a big... Dude, it's a big disc with hills and valleys, man. You know, people are going to get light at different times. And then it does like a 90 drop and then goes back around and then up. It does more of a rectangle around this flat Earth. That's how stupid their argument is.
I'm just trying to understand it, bro, because I'm like for the people that believe that the Earth is flat, I'm like make it make sense.
I saw an Instagram reel the other day of someone saying that they had video proof of the ice wall. And it was helicopter footage of some guy going around Antarctica for like half an hour. And his camera's going out the left of the helicopter and he's just, you know, going around Antarctica. And he's like, see, it's the ice wall, it's real. You really want to watch the amount of hours of footage it would take to film the entire edge of Antarctica to prove that it's not all an ice wall? McMurdo Station is on the edge of Antarctica, and it goes like a beach into the fucking ocean, you dipshit. Like, what are you talking? We have satellite... Oh, yeah, that's all propaganda. Can't use satellite imagery. You can't get a whole picture of Antarctica and tell me that it's real, okay? Fucking NVIDIA has been doing this shit for a long time. So stupid.
Anybody who's ever been on a plane
has seen the curvature of the Earth.
Has seen the curvature of the Earth. Like, I'm just saying.
But their argument's also dispelled when you're by the ocean and you watch a big ship leaving and then all of a sudden it goes off the edge of the planet. They didn't hit the ice wall. Where'd they go? You can't see the ice wall from the fucking edge of San Diego Beach.
It just doesn't make sense to me, bro. Logically, it just doesn't make sense to me. And it's like listening to people who talk about it, I'm like, bro, did you like hit your head really hard like somewhere and just forget logic? Because it just doesn't make sense. And then this is the other thing. If Earth is flat, then wouldn't all the other planets be flat as well?
You'd think. Well, they are. They are flat. They're just perfectly in line to be flat and not appear as disks to us in space. Just like the moon.
We're not even going to talk about the moon. That's a whole nother...
It's a megastructure with a neutron star at the middle.
Bro. The moon stuff, bro.
Tell me you've seen Moonfall.
Yes.
What a great movie.
Very much.
I hope they make another one.
Like, Moonfall was... I feel like all of the...
It's so good.
All of the people who said the moon is a spaceship got together and wrote that script.
Dude, I'm in.
And they were like, we're going to make this movie and we're going to finally prove what the moon is.
Yeah.
Because I was watching that movie and I was like,
so good.
A conspiracy theorist wrote this story.
Yeah, I love it. I fucking love it.
The fucking farm, everything.
Oh, he was right. The potatoes did come from the moon.
I'm like, bruh. What? And then plus the guy that played that character,
the crackpot scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I can never remember his name. But he's a great actor.
I love him, bro.
Yeah.
But I was like, they chose the right guy for this.
Hell yeah.
They really
Hell
did.
yeah, they did.
That movie was crazy. Crazy. And I'm like, who
It's so
wrote
good.
this movie?
I'm so glad they got Halle Berry to come into it.
Like, really, who wrote that movie? Like, they was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm right. I'm going to prove to you I'm right. And I'm going to have Hollywood prove that I'm right.
I don't know how well it did domestically or internationally, but I've watched that movie at least 4 times.
That one, we watched Interstellar again the other day.
So good, too. I cry every time.
Dude, I never cried, but just
Pussy.
the concept of the thing that got me about
Gravity
that
and
movie
time.
was the gravity and the time. Like when they went, I think it was the first planet that they went to, and when they came back,
They were gone 15, 18 minutes, and it was
like 7 years for that guy, and I was like, holy shit,
crazy.
like what? And then when they got to Matt Damon's planet,
Yeah.
and he was like,
Matt Damon.
and he was like, the days are 69 hours and the nights are 69 hours. I'm like, a 69-hour day?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
That's crazy.
Imagine that, bro. Like, what?
The only thing they didn't portray in that film was they didn't show the size of any respective planet and what the gravity difference might be.
No, they didn't.
Because if there was such great gravity around that first planet that 20 minutes would have equaled 7 years, would they be able to stand up?
No.
No. Gravity would kill them.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing to think about too, because it's like gravity on Earth is literally perfect for us.
Well, we naturally evolved in its gravity.
Exactly. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but if you were to go to a planet that had heavier gravity, right?
Like Jupiter.
Okay. Which is considered a gas planet, right?
Well, they don't technically know because they've never sent anything to the surface.
Well,
I mean, obviously they've called it a gas giant forever because the entire, what we can see, shifts and moves.
yeah.
But at some point, to hold all that gas there has to be a planet.
Yeah. Something's holding it in place.
Now, how deep that storm of gases is, we have no idea.
We can't get through it. Hence, the film Jupiter Ascending.
Love it.
Okay.
Highly underrated. I don't get. That movie was great.
Very highly underrated. But there is so much in that movie
So much.
that if you want to talk about,
You mean they liquefy planets of people to make eternity juice? Is that what Michael Jackson was getting after?
and then the genetic coding of other species being spliced with
Yeah.
human
Yeah.
DNA, like you want to talk about some crazy
crazy.
shit, right? Like,
He needs his pack.
come on, bro. And then the way that they were able to, quote unquote, open up the gases on Jupiter to travel to the surface and then close, like,
Yeah.
bro, like that film, again, the concepts that were in that movie, I'm like, who's coming up with this stuff? And who do you know that told you that this is what's really going on?
Not to mention the genetic coding that was in the lead character. For her to have bees, like, be around her and she can control them. What?
Yeah. That, well, bees recognize, quote unquote,
Royalty.
Royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And they would recognize her as a queen, this and that, But again, DNA splicing, right? Like the lizard guys with the wings,
Yeah.
like they are, in my opinion, if you know about draconians, right? They would be what, quote unquote, draconians would kind of look like,
Okay.
right? Lizard people or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want to call it. So again,
Politicians.
like I said, who is whispering facts in these people's ears for them to make this stuff film?
I think there's a lot of writers out there that are very smart writers, but they also try to like put in little like Easter eggs of the shit that people talk about
Yeah.
into modern culture so that it's not so weird when they actually hear about it.
Yeah. Like, the truth is right in front of you. Right? But it's just like, when I watch this kind of stuff, I'm like,
X-Files, I want to believe.
you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, we talk about, when you start digging into history, you talk about the Anunnaki, you talk about Planet X, the Draconians, and how the Draconians control the galaxy outside of,
Oh, yeah.
you know, our particular universe or whatever. Like, come on, bro. It's like, and I strongly believe that when you have multitudes of people talking about the same thing, similar stories, similar experiences, like, there's got to be some kind of truth to that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't all just be fabricated and lies. You know what I mean?
Especially when it's been passed down in Indian or Native American
tribes. Yes.
Shut up. They don't care. But in their songs, in their history, about visitors from other fucking planets.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, their songs have kept that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll find in carbon date 5,000-year-old ruins, and oh look, a guy with a helmet and a purse,
or a spaceship drawn on the wall.
They don't have those. They have those.
I'm just saying.
You mean to tell me that every continent has some ruins that has a spaceship and the... What? Watch Ancient Aliens, folks.
There's a YouTube channel that I watch called The Y Files, and the guy that does that show, he hits on like a lot of different topics about this kind of stuff, and he does like an hour or 2 hour episodes, and he talks about a lot of stuff, digs into a lot of it, and very interesting stuff, bro. Very interesting stuff.
I've seen a lot of clips and reels lately of multiple different channels and lectures and whatnot of people relating Bible passages to how people of that time would try to relay a heavenly battle in their language. I mean, think about it. A lot of those battles that happened in the sky with chariots and all these things, shooting fire. That could be an F-22 battle. Or a fucking spaceship battle between who they worship because they could fucking fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's to say that it was God? Everyone has this culturally ingrained fucking thought of this all-powerful Omega and Alpha being. It's like, that's great for the masses to like get you to chill out, be a good person, but...
True. I mean, but we already know that religion is a control mechanism. Like,
we do, but we also got to talk to the people about this.
Like, religion was basically designed to control the masses, and keep them...
Keep the king and the church together and control.
Yeah, and then on top of that, to give you, as an individual, I don't want to burn in hell, so... I'm not going to do these things.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, okay, well, why is it so hard to not just to not do bad shit in general? Like, why do you have to be told that it's wrong to do this? Why do you have to have a consequence?
Because we're savages.
Everybody's not a savage, bro. Like, I don't walk around thinking about killing people.
Well, no, I get that.
You know
I get that. But that's part of how you've lived your life and the things around you.
Okay.
Okay? If you had nobody around you but animals, say Tarzan type status, you wouldn't be like how you are now.
No, but even animals only kill when they need to eat, or when they are defending their young.
That's what you would do.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if somebody threatens my life or threatens my family's life, then yes, I'm going to defend them. And if I'm hungry, I'm going to go hunt whatever it is that I'm a predator of, to feed myself or feed my family, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how the animal kingdom works. right? Like when you see these people talking about, oh, animals are slaughtered, this and that. I'm like, have you ever seen how these animals get killed in the wild?
It's vicious.
Like,
Way worse.
you know what I mean? Like,
Way worse.
it's not no, hey,
Not pretty.
let me talk to you, buddy. We're going to put you to sleep and then we're going to feed
A
you to
deer
our
hit
cubs.
by a car is better than what happens to him in the wild.
Shh, bro. Just saying. Just saying. So,
But trying to explore the human psyche and, this or that, what would have happened, how do we live our lives, we could go hours upon hours of evaluation and thought processes and whiteboard pro, con, this, that, the other to try to come to. But essentially what you're asking is like, what is the meaning of life? Is what it all boils down to at the end of the day. Because none of us know.
I mean,
People can say, oh, I know. No, you have a belief and a faith in God, and that's what you're fucking telling me right now. You do not know.
nobody really knows the reason for us being here.
I died for 10 seconds and I saw God. No, you didn't.
I mean, I personally believe that we are here for a experience. I think that we are here to experience life in the flesh, in this meat suit that we're in.
I hope that.
And once we experience whatever it is we're meant to experience in this life, then we go back to whatever energy source we came from and we move on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Right? But I'm not...
When you explained that to me the other day about electrical impulses and what our brain controls and we're all just energy, makes a lot of sense.
No, but it's true.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Like, think about it. Like, okay, the human body.
That's the most factual way to prove that spirits exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, people are like, oh, you're. I'm like, you're not we aren't human, right?
Yeah.
Like, me and you are talking. We're sitting here.
These meat sacks talking to each other, they're human.
This is a avatar or
yes.
Or
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the electrical impulses firing in our brains from electricity is what we are.
Exactly. We are energy. We are
these
not
electrical
this.
the energy in our heads
Yeah.
interpret chemical signals from our irises to let us see each other.
Yeah.
Without this meat suit, it'd be pretty fucking hard to communicate without just existing as one.
Which is
energy.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
and if you obey the laws of the universe and thermodynamics and all that jazz, there is no loss or gain in the universe. It's all just where does it move to? In what different matter or state is it in?
transitions. That's it. It transitions from one thing to the next, and it's a full circle. Like, that's what I mean.
Circle of life?
The circle. There you go. The circle of life. Like when we die, right? The body goes. Well, most people put it into a casket, put it into the dirt, put it into the ground, and it decomposes.
Let's let that part of nature not go back to nature.
Right? Like it decomposes. So, but where do you go?
Energy.
Where does the energy go? That's the real question.
The ley lines that go throughout the planet? I wonder if all the hospitals and morgues are like hotspot, like Wi-Fi posts for ley lines because of all the energies leaving the bodies.
That would be interesting.
They never touched that in Supernatural.
Well, think about this too, because they say like there are certain parts of the world where the energy source, there is a natural energy source, right? And it's stronger in certain parts than others. Mm-hmm. Okay. Prime example, the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you have these certain locations on the planet that are hot spots, quote unquote.
But there's also a crap ton of natural springs in the Bermuda Triangle bubbling up under the ocean that a lot of people don't even know are there. Because actually trying to go scuba diving in the Bermuda Triangle is quite treacherous because of all the hot springs. So trying to find wreckage there isn't exactly the easiest thing.
Interesting.
The more you know.
And then there's the talk about the portals, right? The natural portals that they talk about all the time.
Stargates?
Yeah.
I like Stargates.
Right? And then what else? The underwater alien bases that they talk about.
I just rewatched The Abyss the other day. Such a good movie. I'm totally down for underwater bases.
As long as we're not taking a man-made submarine.
Fair.
And I don't mean man-made, I mean amateur-made. Because, yeah.
You know, it cracks me up because they just had the Meg series movies come out. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
But you're telling me that a ship half made of glass is going to the bottom of the Marianas Trench and then through a layer that separates cold and hot water to a whole nother biome. And it's supposed to be set in modern times? Get out of here.
No, sir.
Just make another movie where Jason Statham can show off his muscles and get the hot chick and
kick ass.
Be a badass.
Oh, they did that already. It was
Transporter?
No.
The Mechanic.
No.
Hobbs and Shaw.
No. Jesus, how many more you gonna go? I think it was called Beekeeper or something like that. It's the most recent one that he's done. It was actually pretty good.
Beekeeper.
I think it was called Beekeeper. Something like that.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good though. I liked it. It was basically about scammers. So he's like some kind of special agent that operates outside of the government, and he's tasked with keeping the world in line, basically. So whenever shit goes awry and the government isn't doing anything about it and nobody's doing anything about it, it's his job to do something about it. And there was like this guy who was the son of the president, who was a woman who was the president, and he pretty much took highly intelligent software and redesigned it to target wealthy people, and they were scamming them out of their money, basically. And Jason Statham's character, he was friends with a woman, elderly woman, who was we'll just say a very good person, and she got scammed and all her wealth was taken. It was millions of dollars.
Okay.
That she was part of a nonprofit organization for children and all kinds of stuff. Committed suicide. He took it personally.
Gotcha.
And took it upon himself to rectify the
The
problem.
vengeance of the saint.
Exactly. So it was like, okay, I get the storyline.
John Wick for an old lady.
Yeah, but it was a very interesting movie, and I was like, with all the scamming shit that's going on nowadays, this wouldn't be a bad idea. But that guy would end up eventually being killed by the government, because I personally feel like the government is behind half of the scam shit that's going on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But we're not talking politics.
No politics, even though half of what we've been talking about is politics. We can't help it, is what we're trying to say.
So, but back to the
reality
stuff.
Back to reality.
Like, if you could, so this
turn back time.
Oh my God.
Sorry, go ahead.
If you could, right, have a conversation with God, quote unquote, right?
Sure. The historically biblical God.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Hello, God.
Say you could ask him 3 questions.
Okay.
What would those 3 questions be? Now here's the caveat. You get the answers to your questions, and then you're transported back to Earth.
Okay.
But you cannot take that information that you have and utilize it to do anything here.
Oh, but I can still have the information.
You can have the information.
But I can't change my average
you can't
life.
Change your average life.
Okay.
You just know what you know, but you can't do shit about anything.
First question. How far away are the closest aliens?
Kansas.
Damn it.
Or what if he said, you are the alien?
Well, obviously to the planet we're aliens. Well, I guess a lot of people probably don't think that. There's no way we evolved naturally on this planet. Not to the level that we're at. I know there's no actual fucking proof of it, because we're not that smart yet, but something else would have evolved with us to this point.
Agreed.
Plain and simple. And yeah, dolphins are pretty damn smart, but what was the movie or the show? Babylon. It wasn't Babylon 5. Was it? They had the talking dolphin. No, it was Sequest. Sequest had the talking dolphin. You'd think, with all the technology we have in AI learning, that they could train an AI to monitor a dog's barks or a dolphin's squeaks or a whale's songs to see what the fuck they were saying, if it was coherent at all to us, and how to translate it. You'd think that someone would have done that by now.
Not to stray too far away from the original question, but in the Avatar 2,
Yeah.
water, whatever it was
Way of
called,
water.
The Way of Water, when they synced with the sea whales,
Yeah.
and they were able to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
like that right there.
But we don't have magical hair.
I mean, but even in that movie, right? They're plugging into the earth, into the electrical.
Literally plugging in.
They're plugging in
Pandora.
right? Into Pandora, right? If you take
Earth.
your shoes off and your socks off, and you go outside,
the connection to the ground is amazing.
and you ground yourself, you're doing the
You're
same thing.
You are literally grounding yourself.
You're doing the same thing.
Grounding. That's why it's called ground.
Like that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. We are energy, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
like, just think about it. Like,
That's crazy. Wow.
you ground yourself. It has been proven. People who do constant grounding, they are sick less. They don't have inflammation. Like all this kind of stuff, because you're literally pulling all of that.
I've always hated wearing shoes. Hate it.
Like even wearing shoes all the time, we can't manipulate our toes and stuff the way that we should be able to, because we don't walk barefoot.
Yep.
Right?
There were times, stretches, months, when I lived in Arizona that I didn't own a pair of shoes. I just had flip-flops.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. All right, back to the question. So,
God questions. Aliens. Kansas. Is our existence on Earth a test?
very good question.
Because I'm trying to think of questions that, while retaining the information and going back to my existence here, questions that I could ask that even if I told someone, they could never believe me.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some heavy fucking questions. So I feel like first one was for fun, and I gotta know. They're in Kansas. Is our existence on Earth a test? And then I guess, did Atlanteans exist?
I would love to know that.
Dude, if I ever had a time machine, there's two places I'm going, at least in history. Medieval times, they're recorded well enough that we have a good idea what happened. Okay, 3 times. When the pyramids were being erected. Because it wasn't the fucking Egyptians.
No.
It was probably Atlantean survivors.
Just because of the information
That we have.
It would probably, I would say, Atlanteans or Atlanteans.
Because the Sphinx was there well before those were.
Yeah.
Atlantis in its prime. I want to see that. And then dinosaurs. Just fly over. Don't need to land. Don't need to land. Just, it's a big dinosaur. Okay, let's go back.
Man. Yeah.
Your three questions to God.
That would be interesting. Okay, so my three questions would be, how many times have I been here?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because, and I asked that question because I truly feel like we, being an energy source, we come for an experience, and if we don't acquire the experience that we came for,
well, we wouldn't be able to have it from our transition into this realm.
No.
Through birth. We would not have that
The memory.
But when we go back to the ether, we would regain all of our...
Exactly. So the question would be,
Whoa!
how many times have I been here trying to acquire whatever it is that I'm trying to acquire?
Or learn.
Or learn whatever it is I'm trying to learn.
Wow.
Right? So that would be my thing. Because there are some people who say that they regain their memory from their previous lives, right? There's a book, I forgot the name of it, that talks about a person that recollects their previous lives, and they have the discussion of who they were and what they experienced with a psychiatrist. Real story, like real life shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, okay, so that if that book isn't complete bullshit, confirms that when we die,
Reincarnation.
we reincarnate,
Yeah.
right? So my thing is,
But I mean, if you believe in the whole energy, yourself type soul thing, you automatically have to believe that reincarnation is possible.
true, but that doesn't mean that you always come back to Earth.
True. Oh, mindfuck.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, because let's be honest, like, we live on one dimension. We're in a dimension. There are multiple dimensions.
What if heaven is the sun and all the stars are different heavens, and solar flares are birthing fucking expansions,
Bro.
hitting planets, and we're just floating around waiting to fucking occupy something being born?
We don't
That's
know.
crazy to think, though.
We don't know, but that's what I'm saying, right? So it's like, say you get reincarnated, but you say, okay, I learned what I need to learn on Earth. What's my next vacation? Where am I going next?
I want to go be a microbe on Saturn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. So,
And then the infinite existence of the universe. Time has no meaning. So we could be flying from one system to the next galaxy, and it wouldn't mean anything because we're just energy. That's nuts. Whew.
just saying, man. Right? So that would be my first question.
That's how fucking small we are.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be insanely arrogant to think that we are the only living beings with intelligence in the universe.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to think that.
Come on.
Stupid.
Come on. So that would be my first question. How many times have I been here? Okay.
Ooh, I wonder what type of corporeal beings are able to actually have those conscious thought energy beings inhabit them. That's another crazy story. Ooh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Got me excited.
So my second question would be,
You don't gotta pray while you're thinking about it.
My second question would be, why?
Why the test or whatever this is?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Because-
42.
Because according to biblical text and all that stuff, right? Like, we are supposed to, quote unquote, try to be like Jesus. And when we die and resurrection and all that stuff, and we go through judgment, and then if we were a good human, then we go to heaven, we get to become an angel or
Gods or what, depending on
whatever,
what sect of
like,
Christianity
so
you believe.
So you gotta like earn your way into heaven, right?
Yeah.
But
without any knowledge of heaven before this life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
So why?
But is that the real reason?
Well, I could give you the Mormon version.
But that's what I'm saying. Every version that we could give each other is man written.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I want the real reason.
Yeah, because no text or literature that we know of was written by God. It was written by man in God's word. That okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
That's what I'm saying. And for all we know, they could have been smoking a lot of opium and decided to write a great
I'd rather say Expelliarmus and get your wand from you because J.K. Rowling wrote a better book.
Spectre Patronus. So why? Like,
yeah, why?
That would be why. Like, why?
Do you get why I said 42?
42.
The meaning of life?
No.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They build the supercomputer, and the answer is 42.
42. Also, in the beginning of that movie, all the dolphins left the planet.
Yes, they did. Thanks for all the fish.
They left the planet, bro. They was like, yeah, we out.
You got a towel? Let's go.
We out. Man. And then the planet with all the shovels that kept popping.
Don't think. What do you mean? And of course, it's inhabited by the Space Force Police fucking moron. Oh,
that movie, man.
Break time.
That movie, bro.
So good. And that was Zoe Deschanel in that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a crazy
Zoe
movie.
Deschanel and the guy that played the President of the Galaxy. That was one of his first big roles. I can't remember his name ever.
I don't even remember the last time I saw that. I haven't watched it.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Super good. It still holds up. And then Alan Rickman is a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman, so good.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
Shoot.
So.
Oh, did you do your third one yet?
That's what I was going to say. Okay. So my third question would be, now this might seem kind of crazy.
Okay. As if this conversation has been sane.
No, I'm just saying. My third question would be, like, how many versions of Earth exist?
I like that question.
Because I feel, and this is just me personally, right? I feel like there are multiple versions of each of us. Okay?
I mean, there's an argument for our dreams being from different versions of reality.
Ourselves and different realities.
Yeah, but
yes,
became popularized through Marvel recently with whatever.
I'm not talking about that.
I know.
The multiverse thing. But what I'm saying is that there have been plenty of times. I've been a very vivid dreamer all my life. Okay.
I've had them. Yes.
There have been many times that I've had dreams that felt so real, right? And yet I know I personally didn't experience those things. And this,
I've had 4 distinct dreams that felt so real. I thought it had to be past, former, somewhere else. And then they happened. Tell me that one.
So either you dreamed and you saw what the future was going to be and then it became what it became, or you dreamed something and you thought so much about it that you manifested it to happen?
Good questions. Probably more the first.
Okay.
Not that I ever manifested anything from said dream to happen, because one of them was being in a high school and going down a certain stretch of hallway, and it was nothing that I'd ever seen on TV. Now, when I had this dream, it was the early 90s. And there wasn't that many shows about high schools.
Mm.
And then I went to a high school that had that hallway. Couldn't tell you.
Interesting.
But it has happened more than once. To me, anyway. Don't really tell people that often. So, you're welcome, Internet.
You just told the whole internet. I'm just saying, man.
I'm not saying that I'm a prophet or anything like that.
No.
I can't control it.
I mean, there are plenty of
But it's
people
happened.
who have what they call deja vu, or
But that's in quick succession.
or visions, or stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like I know two people personally. I know two people who have had multiple situations where they've seen situations happen in dreams and with other people, and then later in life those actual situations happened, right? So I mean, there are plenty of people where I feel that
It's tricky, though, with dreams, because I've had dreams where I got transported onto the Enterprise.
you was definitely drinking.
No. I typically don't dream when I drink.
Wow.
Because you get so blackout drunk, nothing's really connecting up there.
But think about this. What if the Enterprise, say Star Trek does exist in another dimension or on another planet?
According to Pi and the Infinite of the Universe, it does exist.
Like, think about that. Like,
everything, everyone's, any thought
exists somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, for instance, say you wrote a story.
Okay.
You wrote a novel, right?
Sure.
And then that novel that you wrote was a thought process. You manifested it into a book. Those thoughts were manifested into.
But it was pulled from the ether from some other part of the galaxy.
Exactly. From a different version of you, and that is just a memory that you had. But in your
Is that what the creative?
You're thinking, it's just a story that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But it's really a memory
Something that's happened somewhere else.
That's
fucking insane.
Right?
So that means that to be an artist, you just have to be tapped into the ether.
I mean, most artists are crazy. So they say.
And heroin will get you there.
Right? Like, think about,
Holy
look
shit.
at some of the shit that artists come up with, right?
Let's get some MDMA in here.
Think about it. Like, look at some of the character creations that they come up with.
Oh, dude.
The
Absolutely
stories
insane.
that they come up with, like
Yeah.
all these different things. You're gonna tell me that, you just thought about this out of nowhere, and then, like, really?
I mean, I'm always going to go back to this, but just bringing up, like, Thanos and him wanting to wipe out half the universe. Turns out he's right because he wants to not let all the Titans be born. What? Now, that's the new version. He originally in the comics wanted to impress Lady Death and have her be his girlfriend, and the only way to do that was to kill half the universe.
Hence, Lady Death.
Yeah, but they didn't do that because it was much, much darker in the comics than it was in the movies.
Yeah. I mean, she was kind of hot, though.
Well, yeah, it's Lady Death. Addams Family, but galactic. Duh, gotta be hot. Morticia. Oh. Let's end it right there.
Bro.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Morticia. Just the name alone. Morticia. You're going to the morgue, buddy.
I want more of Tisha.
Cousin It.
I'm not Chewbacca.
Bruh.